Hi guys, it's Jo from Daisy. Today I am going to be setting up my June 2023 spreads. This month I've decided to change things up. If you've been with the channel for a while, you'll know that I love a kind of hybrid weekly, monthly Dutch door vibe. I've decided the last month it hasn't really worked for me, so I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to do my monthly spreads as normal. I'm going to scrap the weekly spreads because I'm finding that I'm not really using them, and I'm much more into just creating lists at the moment in order to be productive. So I'm going to do my monthly spreads at the beginning, then I'm going to do kind of rapid logging daily entries, old school bullet journal style. This is the best bit about bullet journaling for me, is that when I find that something's not working, I can switch it up and I can go completely different direction for a month and see if that works for me. So I would recommend that if you're finding that your planning system isn't working for you, don't kind of throw it all in the bin and go back to the beginning. Just change one or two things and see if that works for you any better. And if it doesn't matter, because it's only a month and then you can switch it up again. So let's hop into the planning. I'm going to be using our Be Awesome range. I'll link everything that we use in the description below the video. And yeah, let's get going. I've been really looking forward to setting up this month's spread since I knew I was going to be using the Be Awesome range and really going old school with my theme. Hexagons and bees is a theme that I've done multiple times during my time journaling. The Hexagon Classic stencil was actually one of the very first stencils that we made, and it's one I've used time and time again. I think hexagons make a really impactful shape. They tile really nicely, which means that you can use them for weekly spreads and monthly spreads and just as a decorative element. So the other thing about this range is that I really love the color scheme. The cornflower blue kind of lavender color is so lush. It's my favorite color at the moment, hence why my nails are that kind of color. So yeah, I've been very excited about setting this up. So I knew I wanted to do some scrapbooking elements. So I've taken this scrapbook paper. You can see the Dream It Planet Do It design on the side that's up at the moment. The reverse to that is a really lovely orange, and that's the side that I'm going to be using. So I've drawn out on the reverse side lots of hexagons all in a row, and I'm just cutting those out now so that I can tile them on the page and create a honeycomb effect. So basically just going through, and because I've cut them in a row, you can kind of do it very systematically and get quite a lot of hexagons in quite a short space of time. It's quite nice cutting, much easier than cutting circles, just nice straight lines. So once I've got all of those, what I'm going to do is lay them out on the page and create a kind of natural honeycomb effect down at the right hand side of the page. And that will allow me to create a shaped page edge for the cover page. And I haven't done a cover page for a while. I've been just going straight into my kind of hybrid monthly, weekly spreads. But I thought, beginning of a new journal, I'm not doing lots of fancy spreads that I'm not going to be using throughout the content of the journal. So it's nice to have a nice decorative cover page to get started for the month. So the best way of laying these out is to start with the centerpiece, which is the one that I'm holding, and I'm going to place that absolutely central on the edge of the page, lined up with our center page mark. Once you've got that, you can kind of build out from there and know that you've got an evenly spaced grid of hexagons. You will notice that these hexagons aren't perfect. They are hand cut, so they are slightly askew with their angles, but I don't think it really matters. They still tile really nicely, and in nature things wouldn't be exact. So it gives a really nice effect. I'm just layering them up now. I'm going to shape that one that's at the bottom so that it goes with the curve of the edge of the page. And once I've got all of my hexagons stuck down, I'm actually going to shape that page edge. I'm not going to be taking much off. It literally is just those tiny white pieces that are shown, but it's going to give a really nice kind of bit of interest to the page. And it's there's not going to be a lot going on with this cover page, but what we do create is quite impactful. I was really happy with how this turns out. So The whole time I was doing this shows my age, I was singing the theme of Blockbuster in my head because these hexagons really remind me of the game Blockbuster, the TV show Blockbuster. Don't know if anyone else remembers that. Let me know in the comments if you do. But that was what was going on in my head whilst I was tiling hexagons. A little insight into the world of Joe. So I've just cut away the edges so they're nice and curved, and then I'm going to take my scissors and just cut out those white pieces so that I've got a shaped page edge. One thing I have started doing while I'm doing live streams, but also just journaling in general, is having a little pot on my desk to put rubbish in. And you'll see I'll have a little tidy up in a minute, just because I find that when I'm doing these kind of spreads where there's lots of kind of cutting out and scrapbooking, I'm creating quite a lot of mess. And working in chaos does not work well for me. I end up getting very stressed. So I definitely recommend creating yourself a little bin where you can move all of your rubbish to, and then you can live in a little bit of a tidier space. So my page edge is done. I really like how it looks. It's nice and tidy, but it's added some interest to the page. And I'm going to go ahead and add some lettering. So I'm going to add the word June because that's the month. I do write it out in pencil first of all, just to make sure it's going to fit. I thought I've taken all that time to do those hexagons. I don't want to mess up the spacing, which I'm going to do now. And I think I slightly place it too far to the right. So it does give me the opportunity to erase those and go in and make it right. And now I know the spacing is correct, I can erase those pencil guidelines and go in with pen. And I'm just going to move it slightly to the left so that I've got a little bit of space either side. And it's a bit more even to the page and to the page edge where I've got those shaped hexagons. So this is the Blossom 5cm font. Blossom regular font is available in the Daisies shop. The 5cm font was a VIP exclusive design. So if you haven't heard about the Daisies VIP membership, you can join from £3 a month. As a VIP member, you get access to all of our printable catalogue for free. You get a monthly masterclass video, live stream on YouTube. You get priority access to new product launches. You get a VIP zone on our website, a VIP exclusive shop where you can get items that are just for our VIPs. You can access the back catalogue of VIP stencils. And if you are a silver or a gold level VIP, you also get a stencil through the post once a month. In an exclusive design that is not available anywhere else, and that includes UK postage. I will drop all the details in the description below the video. But yeah, if you're interested, it's a really friendly journaling community. Our VIPs are lovely. I'm so proud of the community that we've created, because it's positive vibes and support always. We have a lovely VIP Facebook group where if anyone's getting stuck with some element of journaling or crafting, everyone jumps in and gives lots of advice. It's fab. So you can see that I've added in a couple of bees stickers, and using a pencil I've guidelined a little movement line behind that bee, and then I've gone in with the Pigma Micron pen and added a dash line just to show a bit of movement. I'm adding in a couple more flowers now. And one more bee, and my bee's going to be going upside down, and I'm going to do another movement line. I do these in pencil first just because it's quite difficult to do a dashed line and kind of follow where you're going. So pencil first, let it dry out before you erase that pencil line, otherwise you'll just smudge the pen and be very frustrated. So I've let the top one dry. I can erase that now, and then I'm going to go in and colour in that June header. I'm going to use the Koi brush pen to colour in the header. All through the beginning of this journal, I've used the Blossom font, coloured in a solid black, and it's kind of cohesively held together the whole beginning section of the journal. If you want to see the journal setup, including my future log setup. I've created a playlist on our YouTube channel just for this journal. So as I create more spreads in the journal, I'm going to be adding them to the playlist. So you can basically see the process of building up this journal month on month. I thought that would be quite a fun playlist to do from the beginning, from me kind of working out where things are going to go, creating the key and the cover page, creating the future log, right through to the monthly spreads, and anything else I'm going to add in is all going to be in that playlist. And this is probably a good time for me to say, if you are enjoying this video content, if you're new to the channel, please click subscribe, and also give us a little comment below the video. Let us know what theme you're doing for the month of June. It's really great to have interaction on the videos. It makes makes me know that all the hard work is worthwhile. Editing these videos and adding voiceovers can be a tedious process. I'm sat here on a Saturday morning recording this voiceover at the moment. I am going out for the day, so I've set my alarm nice and early to get this done, and my Mac is not cooperating with me. It has deleted my voiceovers multiple times already this morning. So please drop us a little like and a comment. It does mean the world to me, and it means that it's all worthwhile me arguing with my Mac on a Saturday morning. So that's my June cover page done. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. I am now going to turn over and start the first double page spread of the month. I'm using those hexagons just along the left hand side of the page to kind of echo what was seen on the cover page. I did think I would have a ton of hexagons and plenty that I wouldn't need to make any more, but I was wrong. I am going to need to cut some more. So I've just had a quick tidy. I've time-lapsed that so that you didn't have to watch. Got rid of all the rubbish, and I'm going to go in and make another 6 hexagons so that I can complete this page edge and go ahead and create my monthly spread. So the first double page spread of the month is going to be my monthly layout, and I'm going kind of old school vertical monthly layout with a place for AM and PM appointments. I'm also going to create a little zone for me to, like a holding zone, which you'll see in a second, and also some fun headers and decoration, of course, because what is a monthly spread without a bit of decoration? So I'm just cutting out those hexagons, same as before. I've drawn them all onto the reverse side of the paper, and now I just need to do a little bit of paper crafts, which is actually quite relaxing. I like cutting hexagons, I've decided. They're nice things to cut out. Look how therapeutic. When you get to that point, you kind of one snip and you're getting multiple hexagons. It's quite cool. So the glue I'm using to stick these down is a glue dot roller. It is from our store, but you can get them lots of places, and for me, it is my go-to adhesive in my journal. I don't like Pritt sticks, and I don't like kind of wet glue. I don't like it. It makes the paper wrinkle. This is like instantly dry and really easy to use. So I get through quite a lot of these. It is lucky that we sell them. So I'm just sticking down all of the blockbuster tiles onto my double page spread, and then I'm just going to cut the edge off, round off the corner in the same way I did on the front, and then I've got a nice page edge for my double page spread. Beautiful. So now let's go in with some stickers from the Be Awesome Deco sticker kit. My trickiest bit is getting this lined up with the corner of the page. You can see that I was getting very annoyed. Luckily, these stickers, if you haven't really stuck them down, you can pick it up and kind of position it if you're careful. So I've stuck the corner decoration on, and I'm just cutting off, rounding off that corner. And then I'm going to go in with some of my favourite washi tape. This potentially is the best washi tape that we've ever made. I love this purple colour. I know I've said before, but yeah, I love it. And it's got little bees. So this one works really well as a horizontal design, and the other washi tape that we have in this range works really well as a vertical design. We are really trying to make sure that we create vertical designs every time we create a horizontal design, because we know people really like those. And then adding in my little Oops a Daisy bee Bit of layering of paper crafts, adding in some daisies. How cute are those daisies? Onto my blockbuster tiles, and then I'm going to go in with my days and dates washi tape and my numbers washi tape and create that monthly spread. So I'm placing it kind of central to the page so that I've got room at the bottom for a little bit of decoration and room at the top for a title. So there's my numbers 1 to 31, and then I'm going to place the days of the week down the side so that I know what day is what. Just cutting that off. This washi tape is fab. It is spaced exactly to fit a 5mm dot grid, so it makes for the quickest monthly setup ever. So if you didn't want a decoration, you could literally do that on a page and you're done. This is a B5 journal, so I've got quite a lot of space top and bottom, but you can totally fit a month in an A5 journal using that washi tape. So I'm just grabbing my koi brush pens to decide what colour I want to use as my highlight colour for this month. I go through a variety of blues and purples and then decide on a yellow. So I've gone yellow to match the bee, and I like to highlight the weekend on my monthly calendar so that I know where the weekend falls. It's something that I've always done. I don't use a ruler. I do just hand draw it. I quite like the organicness of the lines. And then I'm adding in a central line, which I'll do in a second. I'm just going to let that koi brush pen dry before I add it in, just in case it makes the pen kind of fray a little bit. And I'm adding in a header with the Blossom upper and lowercase font stencils. And it's just going to say this month. Nice and simples. And do remember with the font stencils, you've got a row of holes at the bottom so that you can add in the centres to letters, which I will do as I'm going through. So just writing out. With stencils, I always use my Pigma Micron 04 pen. Just be aware of like the width of the nib. If you use something really chunky, you might not get the fine details from a stencil. So as I said, just dividing that monthly spread into two, and then I'll have AM and PM so that I can add in events, appointments, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to give a little bit more detail about my monthly spread and kind of the thoughts behind it this month. I really like creating decorative spreads. I enjoy the setup, but I do find it very frustrating when I set up a spread like with loads of trackers and the areas that I'm supposed to go back to, and then I flip back through my journal and I haven't gone back to them. So they're basically like spreads that haven't fulfilled their destiny. I'm all for doing decorative pages like the cover page that are just beautiful and interesting and kind of done. But when I'm creating spreads that I don't end up using, that's when I end up getting frustrated with my journal. So my whole ethos behind this journal is to only include spreads that either are kind of done, like the cover page, that I can look back on and enjoy, or spreads that I know I'm definitely going to use. I don't want to have a journal full of well-intentioned spreads that I'm basically not going to get any function out of. So everything I've done in this journal so far, I think I'm going to use as the months go on. What I plan on doing is reviewing at the end of each month the pages that I've included, how they've worked, how they've not worked, and what I can do going forward to kind of make the journal work better for me. If that's a process that you think will be useful for you as well, then I can definitely record it. We can talk through it together. I think seeing lots of comments on social media about people frustrated with their journaling process and basically like struggling to find planner peace. I think it's a common theme. I think a lot of people have this whole process where they're like, maybe something else will work differently for me. Maybe I need to change everything up completely. And as I've said before, I don't think it's about kind of wholesale change. I don't think it's about chucking a journal away and starting again. I think it's about looking at what you're doing and just making tweaks month on month as to what might work differently for you. And it's really important to remember that it is for you. So kind of blindly copying something that you see on the internet, if it's not going to work for your lifestyle or the way that you use your journal, it's just not going to work, and you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. So I think this process of kind of reviewing, amending should be constant and should be evolving. And that is why bullet journaling is so fantastic, is because we have the ability to kind of flex and change as our life changes, as the demands on us change, or just how we feel, the amount of time we have for setting up a journal. So it's something that I'd like to include more on the channel. So if you would like to watch, please drop me a comment below and let me know that you think that's a good thing. I think it will be an interesting process. So my plan is to set this journal up. We've created a playlist so that you can watch everything for this journal set up in one place. And then at the end of June, I'll record a video kind of going back through these spreads and looking at what worked and what didn't work. And then as I go into July setup, I can make those changes and make it work better for me, constantly evolving and changing what I'm doing. So while I've been chattering, you will see that I've created another spread on the left-hand side of this double page called the Buzz. And this is something that I wanted to do because I'm finding that I'm leaning on post-it notes a lot in my journal, because there's a lot going on at Daisy at the moment. And often there'll be things that I think, oh, I need to remember to do that, but I can't do it until X has happened. XYZ, someone else needs to do something, or I'm waiting on something. So I want to write it somewhere so that I don't forget, but I don't want to put it in my kind of current to-do list because it just clutters up the to-do list and I can't tick it off, which is frustrating. So I've created that buzz zone so that I can write things on a post-it note, need to do this, and then when it comes to the point that I can do it, I can take that post-it note and move it into my current area of my journal and kind of tick off where I've done it and add new post-it notes as I go along. So it's kind of like a holding zone for things that I need to do. So I've moved into the next double page spread, which is going to be my content planner. It's become more and more part of my role as Daisy has grown, is content creation, basically the marketing and finding of new people for Daisy, plus support for our current customers, how to use our products, that kind of thing. And it all takes place over so many platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, YouTube. We also have our website blog. So there's a lot of different things going on, and I'm currently finding that I'm just rushing around like a headless chicken, trying to get content on all the places, and I need to be a bit smarter about it. So I thought for the month of June that I would create a double page spread in my journal that is totally dedicated to content planning, so that I can create one bit of content, for example, my future log setup, and then figure out how I'm going to use it across multiple platforms, plan out if I'm going to do a blog post, that kind of thing. So I've created a monthly calendar using our super easy stencil. So that's where those boxes have come from. I'm using the skinny washi tape just to section off that end part of the spread where I'm going to have a list of kind of like blog posts I have to write, YouTube videos that I want to create, kind of the main tasks. And then across that monthly calendar, that's where I'm going to kind of schedule once a week where the YouTube video is going to go live, so that I can give you guys warning of perhaps on a Thursday, that's when there'll be a YouTube premiere, for example, so that it's not so on the fly, which is what it is at the moment. So I've written out this month's boxes in black, and then in purple I've added the days that don't fall into the month of June but I want to include in this planner so that you can see where they are. I'm just adding in daily headers across the calendar using the Be Awesome Days and Dates sticker sheet. Those fonts are Blossom, so it matches everything that I'm doing. It's all nice and cohesive. And then for the end of May, I've used the orange stickers for the dates. I'm then going to switch over to our black stickers for the month of June, so it stands out. And then I'm going to add a header. I do spend quite a lot of time thinking of a fun header for this spread. I kind of cursed myself because I could have used the buzz, which is what I've used on the page before, and it probably would have made more sense for this spread, but hey, best laid plans and all of that. So I do just end up calling it a content planner, which is fine. It does what it says on the tin. I'm also going to add sections where I can record current stats versus the stats at the end of the month for each of the main platforms. So how many subscribers we have on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, our new newsletter. I didn't mention that as well. It's another form of content creation. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, which has kind of become my main job now, really. I'm doing a lot less designing, although I do still have to do quite a lot, and a lot more content creation. I basically spend my life with my phone in my hand doing videos of everything everyone's doing so that I can use it across multiple platforms. What is this life? So I'm just grabbing my social media stencil, which is a classic stencil that we created way back. It probably needs an update because it doesn't have TikTok on it, but it has all the others. So I'm just going to use that to add icons. I might add a little decorative sticker just to make it pretty. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to do the header on this. I didn't quite know how to make it work, but I got there in the end. I went basic and just put it on the left hand side. So this is my content planner. Again, it might not be something that's relevant to you if you don't kind of focus on content creation, but perhaps you could use this format as your main calendar layout. Perhaps it would work well as kind of like a school club's calendar or a family calendar, that kind of thing. It's quite a nice visual layout for a month. So if you are quite visual with your planning like I can be, having this works really well. You can add color codes into the different boxes. Perhaps you're doing things on different days, days that you're working, days that you're not. There's loads of ways that you could use this sort of layout that aren't content creation based. Once again, I'm just using that Blossom font stencil. This is the lowercase, but I've used the lower and the uppercase just to write in the header using my Pigma Micron. And once I've got that, I am going to colour that in black so that it matches all of the other headers across, just adding in those holes to the letters and adding an exclamation mark at the end. And then I'm going to grab my social media stencil and add in those main icons so that I can track my stats. Social media is a strange beast. It has been for us basically where Daisy grew. Without social media, Daisy as a company wouldn't be the company that it is. We have an amazing community on Facebook. Our Bullet Journal Squad Facebook group is kind of the home of where everything happens for Daisy. So it's a necessary evil. It's one of those things, it can just, suck the life out of you, take up so much time, but it also is an amazing community and amazing support. So used in the right way, it has so many strengths. So I think it's just really important to look at it in the positive way that it can be. I know for us, over the last year or so, Instagram has become quite frustrating because we just don't get the visibility on there anymore. But our Facebook group has grown amazingly. We're seeing a lot more people on the YouTube channel and we're seeing a lot more people on TikTok. So just kind of focusing on the different areas that we are being seen. I hang on to Instagram because me personally, it's the app that I enjoy spending time on the most, which is frustrating because it's probably the channel that is the least productive for us now. But, these things come in waves, so it may all change again. But we definitely find for us that the Facebook channel is the main source of kind of communication with customers, and the group especially is where we see the most interaction and demonstration of people using the products that we've created. So yeah, let me know below how your thoughts on social media. Is there anywhere that we're missing? I think we covered all the main ones, but There's new channels popping up all the time that we should be perhaps on. There is only so much time in the day, however. YouTube is currently my biggest focus, spending a lot of time creating content for YouTube because it's a really nice format to be able to demonstrate products being used. And also kind of those live streams that we do on YouTube enable kind of live interaction and brainstorming, and I watch a lot of bullet journal videos on YouTube. They give me inspiration, so I'm hoping that this works in the same way. So that's the double page spread done for my content planner. I've got one more double page spread to do before my monthly setup is complete. And this one is going to be my master to-do list. So this is where I will capture all of the tasks for the month ahead in one place. And then once this one is complete, I will start the month with basically kind of rapid logging. So I'll put the date, the day, and just the task that I want to complete that day. And I can move them from my master to-do list into my kind of daily task list. So all I'm seeing on an individual daily basis is that day's task. So it's easy for me to kind of focus down on what I'm doing rather than get distracted with how much stuff I've got to do over the course of the month. So I'm just decorating the page with our lovely cornflower blue kind of lavender washi tape with the bees on. I've added a little bee in the corner. I'm just kind of doing real kind of scrapbook style layering of little washi strips, and I'm going to add in a header. This is my genius pun header for the bees, and I'm calling it Get Buzzy, i.e. like get busy, get it? I am a comedy genius. Last pun of the month, I think. So yeah, little head of Get Buzzy, and then I'm going to leave it so that I can migrate all of the to-dos from my last monthly spread that I haven't completed yet over to this page. It's basically like a massive brain dump of everything in my brain that I know I need to get done. So there'll be a bunch of tasks for the month ahead, like stencil design, blog writing, ongoing projects that we've got, personal tasks. Everything can go into this space. And then each day, as I said, I can take the tasks I'm going to complete that day and move them into my daily spread. Apologies for being slightly off page here. You can tell that I'm nearing the end of the spread because I've kind of just gone off on a tangent, moved the spread off the page, off the video screen. I love this colour combo. The yellow and the purple worked so nice together. They're really pretty. So I've done a little bee with that movement line behind him again, same as before. I'm just colouring in that header. I think I'm using a black koi brush pen for that. Obviously, by that point, I didn't want to colour it in with a fineliner. I was like, come on, we're an hour and a half in. I'm so close to being at the end. But look how cute it is. This is the cutest monthly spread. It's definitely going to be one that I'm going to enjoy using. And it also, I've got so much freedom. I've got space to doodle and write and add my tasks in. I think it's going to work really well. So all I need to do now is finish colouring in those final few letters of this header, and then it's time to give you a flick through of the completed spread. So that's 3 double page spreads and a cover page, all in an hour and a half real time. I think that's pretty good going. So we're done. That's the June setup. That took real time an hour and a half, and a lot of it was cutting paper at the beginning. I am so pleased with how this has turned out. So I've got my cover page with a little bit of a shaped edge just to make it interesting. I've added some like flyy lines to the bees, just to give a bit of movement. So this is my monthly spread. I've divided it into AM and PM. As you know, I like to highlight where the weekends are just so that I can break it down. This page here, I've added post-it notes to show you what I'm going to do with it, but basically is my place to kind of put things when I don't know when I'm doing them, or ideas that I'm having, or projects that I know that I need to finish but on the to-do list yet, so that I'm not like constantly writing a to-do list and then moving it over. I've got like a holding space. I've then got my content planner for the month, so this is where I'm going to put my YouTube, my Facebook, Instagram, blog. What else have we got? YouTube, blog, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I guess. Content here, but kind of the bigger content, not day-to-day posting, but like when we're going to do YouTube. Did I say that? So yeah, when we're going to post YouTube videos and stuff, when we're going to live stream. And this is a list here for content that needs creating or editing. And then I've got my Get Buzzy page, which is my kind of master to-do list. And then when I start the month, this is where I will start my rapid login daily logs. So yeah, I think this has turned out really well, and I think it's going to be a really usable spread. What I would like to do this month, if you guys are up for it, is at the end of June sit down and kind of review where I'm at with my journal, what pages I'm using and what pages I'm not. Something that I want to do more of is kind of like that, like brainstorming and ever evolving ness of the journal, because I think it's really easy to look at people's YouTube videos, see what they've created and think that, you know, they're going to use it and it's going to be perfect. But I can promise you that there are lots of spreads that I create and never go back to. And I think that that will be more realistic for a lot of people that are watching. I'm really aware of seeing lots of people really disheartened with their journal and throwing journals away and having to start again. And it makes me sad. So I'm going to do what I can do to kind of show the reality of how I use my journal, and hopefully that might help. I have still got a couple of spreads to create in the setup, but I'm going to do those in separate videos. It's time for me to have a break. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Please, please, please hit subscribe and leave us a comment if you've enjoyed it. And if you want to see the review. The more comments and shares and likes and things we get on social media, it means the world to us, and it means that we can carry on doing what we do. So we really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye bye.